Boop. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, April the 6th, 2021, and today's daily Bible readings come to us from Psalm 118, 1 through 2, and 14 through 24, Genesis 1, 20 through 2, verse 4, and then 1 Corinthians 15, 50 through 58. And I'm going to look at Genesis 1, 20 through 2, 4, and talk about how it was good. Let's just start there. So, this is the creation story. Well, let's say one of the creation stories in Genesis. I'll leave the confusion for another time. But it's the one where in chapter 1, where God begins and, says, let there be light, and there's light, and then goes from there. And this text talks about the creation of life on earth, right? So it's talks about, lets the waters bring forth swarms of living creatures and let birds fly above the earth across the sky. So you get the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, the animals on the land, all the plants, and then the creation of man. So, but the outstanding thing about this is this kind of recurring statement that we get in Genesis every time God creates one of these things, and it says, and he saw that it was good, and it was good. So creation reflected the goodness of the one who had called it into existence, right? And that's really what's going on here. We don't get these processes and things like this. It's just God says, let there be this. And then there's that. And God says, that's good. So the creation reflects this image of this good and the goodness of the one who called it into existence. Even human beings, as hard as that is to believe, even human beings were created in God's likeness, and specifically so. He says, let us make humankind in our image according to our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the wild animals of the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. Watch out, creepers. So God created humankind in his image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the face of the earth. So even human beings, especially human beings, were created in God's likeness, created to reflect this divine image of goodness, right? Created to exercise dominion over creation, but created to do so in the image and the likeness of God. And God saw that it was good until it wasn't. And that's where you all know the rest of the story. I hope you do. But the rest of the story goes on from there, and the divine image becomes defaced. The likeness becomes distorted, and it's still kind of there, but it's corrupted. It's in need of restoration. Luckily, we have Easter now, and that is the work. That is the work that begins with Easter, that this divine image can be restored. We can be renewed. We can be reborn into the likeness of God. It becomes a new birth. So you were created in the image of God, but you were born into this kind of distorted image of God. But through Christ, you can have that image restored. You can be reborn. You can have a new birth into the divine image of God, into the likeness of God, into the goodness of God. If you want to read more on that, you can look at John Wesley's Sermon 95, which is called The New Birth. So anyway, that's the DBR for today. Go outside, enjoy the goodness of God's creation, and try to reflect his image in it. Anyway, see you tomorrow for another DBR. Boop.